So yes, we will be running through EstimatorXpress today. Okay, I'm going to show you either an extension or a new build house. I haven't quite made up my mind yet. Okay, however, I wanted to show you the different versions of the software. So we have the Standard Edition, the Total Toolkit, and the Ultimate. Okay, and what I'm going to do as well, I'm going to run you through how to change and manipulate the prices to benefit your business. Okay, and after the actual estimating or going through a few workbooks, I'm going to show you the reports aspect so you can see your cash flow, your profit forecast as well. Okay, and then the final quote at the very end. Now first off, I want to actually show you the different versions that we have of EstimatorXpress. Now I've gone to the HBXL website. Okay, and an EstimatorXpress pricing. As you can see, we have the three versions, the Standard, the Total Toolkit, and the Ultimate, and you can see their prices there as well. Okay, so with this drop-down box, I can hit this one there, and it's going to tell you exactly what the programs can estimate. Okay, so similarly, you've got everything from extensions to new buildings, apartments and flats, loft conversions, renovations, internal and external, maintenance and alterations, groundworks, walling, okay, internal and external again, roofing, including dormers and roof windows, windows and doors, internal and external, conservatories, structural openings, basic domestic electrics, plastering, painting and decorating, kitchen and bathrooms, basic landscaping, subcontract quotations, and your basic domestic plumbing and heating. Okay, where the Standard Edition and the Total Toolkit differ from the Ultimate, you're going to be looking at advanced plumbing and heating, and this is actually a sole product we sell to plumbers. Okay, so you're looking at extensive reports and estimating within your plumbing and heating, so underfloor heating systems, boiler systems, okay, for full plumbing work for a household. Okay, so if you find yourself bringing in a subcontractor for that, okay, we can you can put that in as a subcontractor price. Okay, instead of actually forking out the extra. Then you have new basements, new build basements and retaining walls. Okay, something that a lot of people in and around the location of London would probably come up against. In the southwest, so much Bristol or Weir based, you don't come up against many basements. Okay, so it's something that can be additional to certain builders and not others. Okay, then you've got the office and shop refits. Again, that commercial aspect is also with the Ultimate. And at the very end, you've got SIPs and ICFs, so your structural insulated panels. Okay, again, that works within basements. So if that's something that you do focus on, brilliant. You can go for the estimate, go for the Ultimate. If you cover it all, anyway, you can go for the Ultimate. If you did just want to add one or two in, okay, on either the Standard Edition or the Total Toolkit, you can do that. Okay, you can add on little bits time and again. Okay. Back to when they become similar, okay, you will be able to create your professional quotes, automatic production of your reports as well, so costs, task lists, material order schedules, okay, like I said, live material price links to Jewson's, Travers Perkins, TradePoint, Keyline. Alright, so what we would actually do is once you've purchased the software, we'd be able to take your account numbers for these merchants and we'd actually be able to implement their prices into your software. Okay, so any discounts that you have pre-agreed with these guys, we'd be able to get that into your software for you, which is quite handy. Job management, so you get Gantt charts, labor schedules, so it's actually going to tell you how long your job's going to take as well. Okay, then you've got your variations and amendment tools. Okay, import and export into and out of Microsoft Excel and Word. Okay, so this is quite handy as well. If you are used to Excel, it's going to, especially in the report section, it's going to benefit you. Okay, we are moving away from Excel as well, so that's going to be coming up with some of the upgrades with the software later on. And then you can also back it up to a cloud or a server. Now again, where these products differ. Okay, so the Total Toolkit and the Ultimate, they have something called My Projects. This will allow you to combine multiple jobs together within one project. For example, if you have one client that's wanting a renovation, refurb, and extension as well, okay, so a loft conversion, a renovation, and an extension, but they want you to give 3 separate quotes and then bang all the reports together, and then a final quote at the very end. Okay, my projects will allow you to do that. Okay, combining those within one job. Okay, the standard edition won't allow you to do that. The total toolkit will. So will the ultimate. Where the total toolkit stops and the ultimate carries on, you've got a Power Pack advanced tool. Okay, this will allow you to create your own calculators within the software. Something that's going to be quite unique to a particular job. Okay, again, for example, if you have a client that wants a 2-story fish tank to go from top to bottom of the house. Okay, that's something that's not going to be in the software from the get-go. However, you can create an estimating platform to cover that kind of job. Okay, if you find yourself doing it again and again and again. All right. And then last but not least, you've got the stage payment calculator and the invoice generator. Okay, so this will allow you to be able to say, okay, giving you payment terms to your client, saying that you want to be paid every 4 days, every 5 days. I'm going to show you this one later on. And the invoice generator as well. So this is invoicing for you guys on site, so you can get them on the payroll. Okay, so that's the 3 versions that we have of EstimatorXpress. Okay, any questions about that at the moment? Okay, I will wait for a couple of moments. Perfect. Okay, going into the actual software itself. Explaining the front page. Okay, traffic light system, very self-explanatory. Okay, software version. If you're running the latest version of the software, it's going to show green. If you're coming up or you've just missed out on an update, it's going to show amber. Okay, and if you're way off, it's going to show red. Okay, so just make sure that you keep up to date with the software. That's building regulation notes, any new calculators that we have put into the software for you. Okay, you get that all with ownership of the software. Okay, support and updates. Okay, you have support and updates for the first 12 months of your software. After 12 months, we'll give you a call. Okay, we'll ask you if you want the support and updates to continue. That will include, again, all new calculators we add into the software, full access to our business support team. Okay, so that's unlimited telephone support. And then you've got the very end as well, training. Okay, when you purchase the software, we are going to train you as well. So you get that within your purchase. And those training classes you can go to again and again and again. There's unlimited enrollment on that. Okay, and then merchant links. Seems I'm not a builder. Okay, I wouldn't actually have a link to any particular merchant. So if you did have a merchant link, that would be green instead of red. Okay. Going from the main page, I want to show you my settings. This is where I direct my clients, when I'm training them anyway, to go immediately. Okay, first off, you want to see my profit and inflation, because, again, self-explanatory. It's what you want to make profit-wise on top of your labor, your plant, your material, your subcontractor, and your sundry items. Okay, from the very beginning, okay, this is in there at 30%. Okay, so it's definitely worthwhile you going in here and setting this template up for your business. It's going to ask you to confirm these percentages from the beginning of every estimate, okay? Because there may be a client that you want to make a little bit more money off of, okay? But that's that case. All right, and then you've got your inflation as well. All right, which we understand that you may win a job now, but you may not break ground for 13, 14 weeks. So if you start, if you win an estimate in winter and it gets to the summer and your bricklayers have put their prices up, that shouldn't be a personal expense. That should be a business expense. So that is there as well. Okay. I've had a question, so if you just bear with me one moment, I'll see if I can get to that. Okay, sure. What we would do, okay, is we'd take your account number and we would contact your merchant. Okay, so we'd be able to help set that up. All right, it's all done our end. Juicens, it takes about 4 to 5 days. Travis Perkins, it takes anywhere between 7 to 10 to have it turned on. All right, so yeah, we would take that problem away from you. We do at our end. Okay, I hope that was helpful. Going from my profit and inflation, I want to go over to my price books. Okay, so first off, master price book in the top left-hand corner. This is going to be the one that you're going to have from the very beginning. Okay, what you can do is you can actually create multiple price books. This could be for variations in prices in your local areas. Okay, so say you're going to work in inner London and outer London. All right, you'd be able to have the variation in prices instead of just having to manipulate the prices each job. Okay, what you can also do as well, you can actually use the system if you're going to be doing estimates for other people as well. Okay, so you'd actually be able to have their prices in multiple price books instead of just your own. Okay, so you can have more accurate prices for your clients. Okay, I hope that makes sense. I have another question. 1 moment. Not a problem. Okay, that wasn't a question. It was Stuart saying thank you. Okay. Okay, another one from Stuart. Yep. Yes. Okay. So Stuart's just asked. I don't know whether you can actually see his questions on the screen or not. He's asked that if you negotiate different prices, okay, with your merchants, does our software update that for you? And that is a yes. Okay. What we do, okay, we keep in constant contact with your merchants. Okay. What we ask at the very beginning is when you go into your prices. Okay, and it's the only real time that you ever need to be on the internet with our software, okay, is when you go into your price book, you hit the download prices button. That's going to have your prices to that date, okay. So every time you go in, just update those prices just in case anything's changed or you've actually agreed with your merchant, okay. So yes, again, that we keep that updated for you. So double-clicking Master Price Book, you can go into your labor, material, plant, subcontractor, or sundry items. Okay, so I'm going to go into labor first of all. Hit select, and as you can see, we've got our bricklayers on the left hand. We've got our merchant. Terribly sorry. We've got our labourers on the left-hand side here, and they're priced in red. Okay, and that's how much they are an hour. Okay, to change any of these prices, all you have to do is just double-click. Okay, now I understand that there's a lot of blue to look at. So we do have this filters tab at the top. If you hit that and go to highlight selected line, by the time you see who you're dealing with and whether they're VAT registered or not, you're going to be able to not lose your line. But like I said, you can just double click. So I'm just going to double click this joiner. He's £20 an hour. I'm going to change him to £22 an hour. Okay, I can click OK. Okay, I know he's VAT registered. And that price is now changed to £22. All right. If you are going to create any more labourers yourself, all you've got to do is just highlight over the type of labourer that you're going to create, okay, and then you can right-click. So if I were to create another electrician, just right-click here. You've got New Resource or Edit Resource. Go to New Resource, and then you've got an electrician. So I'm just going to put in brackets Josh for the now. Okay, Josh, he's going to be £55 an hour. Okay, but he's a contractor. I get him from a completely different. I hire him in, and what I would do is if I've got him from a particular contractor, I can just hit this plus button here, and I can add in one. Okay, I'm going to go for Parkers this time. Click OK. I understand when he gets paid. Okay, he gets paid every week, and then click OK. And what I've got there is I've got my electrician Josh. He's £55 an hour. Okay, I get him from Parkers. And I created him on the 15th of February 2017. And there he is at 20% VAT registered as well. Okay, I hope this makes sense. All right. Jumping from here, we can go into material. So we've got the two drop-down boxes at the very top. Okay, hopping from one to the other is just a click and a select. Okay, like I said, to keep all your prices up to date, we would suggest you hit this download prices button here. All right, you do actually have this button on the main homepage as well. So if you continue, if you had this on a laptop, you can actually plug it into the internet, hit the download prices button so you have the most up-to-date prices, okay, to that date, unplug it from the internet, and you can go off. You can go to a coffee shop or anything like that just to do your estimating. Okay. Okay. To find a particular material, we've got the drop-down box above it, and you can go to your bricks, your blocks. Okay, so I'm going to go bricks. And as you can see, down the left-hand side, you've got your bricks and how much you're buying them for. Okay, you can see I've created some myself, like a Lego brick, a London yellow brick. Okay, and I've popped in my own suppliers as well. And just like the labourer, all you've got to do is either double click or right click to create something new. Okay, and then again, I'm going to go with the theme of Parker's right now. I can go a Parker's brick, and I actually buy it for 28 pence. Okay, I've got a pretty good deal on this. Okay, and again, payment and delivery are the same week as well. And supplier and contractor, again, I can add in my own Parker's. Okay, and then we've got our wastage and our VAT on there as well. The wastage aspect, again, you're never going to have the perfect delivery of bricks for the perfect wall. Okay, never going to happen. What the software will do is for every 100 bricks that you purchase or you need, it's going to add 7.5% more. It's going to order 8 more almost. Okay, just covering you for those broken bricks. All right, so you're not going to be out of pocket that way either. And then click OK. We've now got our Parker's brick in there, 28 pence from Parker's, and then we've got February 15th, 2017. Okay. So going from here, all right, I'm just going to show you one last place, and that's the plan. All right, definitely worthwhile having a look at. Okay, and for the reasons of, if you have your JCB digger, you're going to be paying him to do your trial holes. He could be £350 a day. Okay, so I created that on earlier on today as well. So all I can do is just double click, and I can change that again to say £320. Click OK, and now that's been changed to 320. Definitely worthwhile having a look at, because it's going to be charging for your shovels, your wheelbarrows. Okay, not £10, £20 here and there. Okay, just small increments, just making sure that wear and tear is covered, because sooner or later somebody's going to break a shovel, going to lose a wheelbarrow. Okay, things like this happen, and it should be a business cost, not a personal one. Okay, I have another question. One moment. Does your system hold your favorites? Yes, it does. We actually have a favorites page just below prices as well. Okay, so I'll show you that in a moment. Okay, so it's just asked if you have a bespoke supplier and want to use them again 1 year later, does your software generate emails, for example, to request up-to-date prices for products from companies other than Travis, etc.? Unfortunately not. No, that's something that you'd have to do yourself. You can export the information, okay, stick it into Excel and then send it on to your supplier, okay, for them to update for you. However, other than that, it's something you'd probably have to talk to the support team about, because they would have a better idea of how you can do that easier for yourself, Stuart. Okay. So going from this page, all right, you can click close, close again, okay, and then answering Matt's question, my favorites as well. So what you can do is you can cherry pick your suppliers as well, and cherry pick your materials. All right. Okay. Unfortunately, I can't go in there because I don't have any merchant price links, unfortunately. Okay. Click back. Does anybody have any questions about the pricing aspect right now? Okay, I will wait a couple of moments. Stuart just asked about the plant. Okay, is it populated by a third party? Okay, so we've generated these prices through work with Juicens, Travis Perkins, TradePoint, and a lot of hire companies as well. Okay, we would suggest that you go through them just to make sure that they are in line with the prices that you're paying at the moment. Okay, because again, some of the prices that we cannot follow, unfortunately, but we do keep them as up to date as possible. Okay. The pricing of specialist items confuses me. Matt, unfortunately, I don't understand the question. Yes, Stuart just asked, does software have a default price list? Yes, it does. Okay, like I said, we've got something called the HBXL price tracker. Okay, and what that will allow you to do is track prices up and down the country. Like I said, we work with Juicens, Travis, and TracePoint, so we put this together and we take out a median price. Okay, and we'll stick that into the software for you. A lot of our builders use it as well. Okay, so it really depends on, you may be making a win or a loss on particular items, but overall it kind of averages itself out. Okay. Okay, and last but not least, Matt, speaking about bespoke items as well. Okay, as I said, the software will be trackable up and down the country with the HBXL price tracker. Okay, and within your personal merchants as well. If there are anything more bespoke that you're using, okay, you would have to track those prices yourself if they're not in the software already. If there's anything in the software, anything that's not in the software, okay, that you need to drag in, okay, you can actually drag it in online and you can create your own materials yourself as well. Okay. Okay, going from the main page, we're going to go into My Estimates. Okay, and we're going to have a look at this main page. Okay, so a brief overview. You're going to have the name of your client or the name of your job. Okay, the job number, so job reference number. Description of the job as well. So everything from a 4-bedroom house, refurbishment, extension and renovation. Okay, roofing, all the way through to commercial roofing in a dog's home. You've got your cost excluding profit and VAT, cost including profit but excluding VAT. Any comments about the job? So just say you've done estimating for the evening, you want to shut off, you want to go to bed, okay, but you don't want to make sure that you've lost yourself and you know where to pick it back up from the next day. So you can give yourself a little comment, a little bit of a heads up to know where you're going to be going next time. Okay. Last time that you've actually opened the job itself, made any amendments, okay. Bar chart last updated, like I said, the software is going to give you off a Gantt chart as well, okay. So it's going to tell you how long the job's going to take. If you are rained off, we are in Britain, we do have a lot of bad weather, all right. It can go one way or the other, all right. And then you've got the status of the job, whether it's an estimate in progress, completed, due to start, or an unsuccessful estimate. Okay, and then you also have in the top left-hand corner the value of successful estimates against the value of current estimates. All right. Creating a brand new job, you go to the top where it says New Estimate, you hit this plus button, and then you can type in the job name, job description, whatever it is. We have given you a list here, but you can type in your own as well. Okay, and then the job number as well. Click Next, where we're going to get our prices from, or what client I'm actually doing my my pricing for. Okay, so I know that I only have the master price book there. Specification. Okay, this is a choice of materials and speeds. Okay, so technically what we've got here is a new build specification, extension, renovation, timber frame. Okay, we've done these for you. All right. Now, with the new build specification, it's going to tell me that the brickwork is going to go up at a certain speed. All right. Now I can choose the external wall brickwork as a price point. So I'm going to show you how to change the prices at a later date. Okay, we'll change the materials anyway. But for this demonstration, for the now, I'm going to choose a 55p facing brick. Okay, roof tiling as well, whether I want to go with a plain tile, a pan tile, or a slate. I'll go for a slate. And then the roof guttering. We've got everything from plastic to cast iron, aluminium, zinc. If there's guttering that you're using for your particular house that the software doesn't have, again, just choose one and you'd be able to select that later on. Okay. And then you've got fascia barge board and soffits to sloped roofs, and to flat roofs as well as decoration, because you may be doing all the plastering within the job, but you might not be painting it as well. So you're going to be leaving that aspect. Okay. Going from here, click next, and then you can start seeing what you're going to be estimating as well. Okay. So you've got your attic shaped wall finishing. As you can see, this is slightly highlighted. If I were to tick this box, what I will be estimating for is the plastering, the internal decorating, insulation to the walls and ceiling, plus all the labor associated with the above. Okay. So selecting jobs, you can do it a multitude of ways. You can go through this list, just ticking down and ticking off what you're going to be estimating. Okay. What you can do is you can actually use this drop-down box, and you can go to something specific. So if I wanted to look at conservatories, you can start looking at the conservatories that the software has. You can type into the filter search box. Okay. So if I want to look at demolition, it can give me the aspects of the demolition that the software has to offer as well. Okay. And then last but not least, what we've got as well, and what we've built up for you, are the workbooks. Okay. So we've got groups of workbooks here. Everything from a house to a bungalow to a renovation, okay, to a large extension, flat roof extension, and so on. Okay, for this demonstration, I'm going to do a house. Okay. Once I've clicked house, as you can see, these become pre-selected. Okay, that means that the software has actually selected these jobs to estimate for a particular house. Now, it understands that you're not going to do a clad dormer wall for a flat roof, hip roof, and a slope roof. But what it's saying is you could come up against these things to estimate. So instead of going through a list and selecting what you do want to estimate, what the software allows you to do is skip this part, go on to the next page, and just estimate what you want from a pre-selected list. Okay. Anything after that you want to add in or take out, you can do on that page as well. Okay. So it's a heads and tails of a coin, as it were. Click next. You've got the start date of the job. Okay, so this is going to give you a better bearing of where you're going to be starting and ending. I'm just going to choose March for now, and I go March 13th. Okay, and the chart type, whether it's a small house, whether it's a house with a loft conversion, large house, depending on how you want to build it. Okay, I'm going to go for a large house for the now. Click next, and then you can pop in the names and details of your client. So I can go James King for the now. Okay, 4 Wexford Road, Bristol, BS 17 9PP. Okay, and then you can pop in the telephone number as well. Click next. As I said, confirming your profit markup compared to the template that we did earlier on. Okay, so I can go 17% because I want to make more money off of this particular client. And then next, confirmation of my inflation rate as well. Okay, what inflation rate am I going to put on? And the moment I've hit finished, the software is then going to build up my estimate for me. Okay, I have another question. One moment. Will it adjust for building multiple houses, 8 at once? The software can adapt to if you're doing multiple jobs. Okay, that would definitely work with my projects. Okay, as one. All right. So what you'd be able to do is you'd be able to pull in those multiple jobs that you're actually doing, or those multiple estimates, or if you want to include all of those within one particular estimate, again, the reports aspect will be able to show you everything you need from labor down through to your material. However, what I would probably do is if you're actually building, say, 8 houses at once, I would create the first estimate for the first house. Okay, and then what you can actually do is you can actually copy that full job and you can multiply it by 7 or 8 times. Okay, making small adjustments within the different houses if there were any more small adjustments. And then that way, then when you come to my projects, you can pull in the houses that are working side by side for that particular job, and then you can include all of the prices together. But I'll show you that within my projects at the very end. Okay, because even explaining it, it sounds a little bit twisted right now, but it would make sense if I showed you it. Okay. Okay, going from here. All right. You can now see down the left-hand side the list of jobs that we're going to be estimating. Everything from site appraisal costs through to shallow access manholes, then going into the clad dormer walls for a flat roof, hip roof, slope roof. Okay, so I'm only going to show you 3 or 4 of these. Okay, then I'm going to go to the charts, the reports, show you my projects, things like this. Okay, like I said before, if there's something that you didn't want, okay, all you've got to do is just highlight it, so that flat roof, and I can go up to the top and I can delete this workbook from my estimate. Okay, so I can click yes, that's gone. I know I'm not going to be estimating it. Okay, you can go through the list and just delete what you're not going to estimate. Okay, however, if you're okay with all that sitting there, all that information on the left-hand side anyway, what you can do is just estimate the jobs that you're going to actually do and leave the rest just sitting there, because the software is only going to pick up what you've costed out and what you've quoted for. Okay, so again, it's that flip of the coin. Now, if there was anything particular that you wanted to add in, okay, saying this list didn't have all the workbooks that you're using, you can then bring those in one of 2 ways. Okay, we have this plus button at the top. Okay, we keep things very similar. I can hit that plus button and I go back to this list again and I can drag in particular jobs. Okay, or the other way, we've got this workbooks button at the top of the screen. Okay, we can make it a lot more visual for you. Okay, so you can now see external walls to feature masonry, doors, windows and conservatories, openings, okay, so steelwork, any stairs, flooring, roofs, attic work, drainage. So all you would do is, if I wanted to include a particular internal wall, or external wall, sorry, I would hit the down arrow and it would give me a list of the types of walls I can do. So if I wanted a brick and block cavity wall, I can do that. And then another one comes in showing me single story, par-tile, double story. So it looks like the old Windows tabs where you used to go from one end to the other trying to get to solitaire. Okay, you're doing the exact same phase, but getting to where you want it to select for your estimating. Okay, by clicking away, and you can go back to this tab again by just clicking EstimatorXpress Toolkit. So first off, I want to go into site appraisal costs. I can double click that here. Again, site appraisal costs. And as you can see, what we've got here is the price for the site survey, the engineer's site report, planning consultant and architectural design fees. We've got those in at £1. The reason for, if they give you a lump sum price, you don't want to try and work out what it is an hour. Okay, so you'd rather just deal with that, timesing that £1 by, say if it's £400, you would just type in 400 there. You do have a difference though when you've got the trial holes for your JCB digger, because it's saying it's £320 a day. You only want them there for 2 days, so you can stick that 2 in there as well. Okay, so site investigation as well, that can be £300. Planning consultant, the architect fees, joint of about £1,000. So 200 for one, 800 for the other. Once you're happy with that, okay, as you can see, we've got £2,340. Okay, that's excluding VAT and profit right now. Okay, we can close that, close it again. Is this workbook now complete? Yes, it is. Now what the software will do, it's going to give you that price, it's going to say completed, and it's going to start timestamp it as well. The luxury of this timestamp is if you're actually working off of a laptop and the software, well, your computer decides to crash, it decides to shut off because you thought it was charging when it wasn't, okay, the software is going to go right back to the last time it timestamped. Okay, so you're not going to lose anything before your last timestamp, which is quite handy. Okay, so you don't have to worry about clicking the save button all the time. All right, software is doing that automatically for you. Going from the site appraisal costs, I'm going to jump down a couple. I'm actually going to do, here we go. What can we do here? Site strip. Okay, so double click site strip. It's going to ask, okay, what is the name of it? It's the main site, and the location is saying external works. The reason why this is quite important is because you may be working in 2 separate areas on the job, okay? So you may want to cost out the 2 separate areas, okay? So what this is going to allow you to do is have the breakdown on the final quote at the very end as well. All right, click OK. And then it's just a typical site strip. Hit select, and then I've got these dimension wizards that, well, that's what we call them anyway. These nice images with the numbers on. Okay, show tech tips. It's just allowing me to just every time I click a new box, it's going to tell me what I'm going to be fiddling with. Okay, so saying The length of the site strip that I'm going to be doing is 12 meters in length. Okay, I've got 100 mil of depth of soil to be stripped out and stored for reuse, and another 100 mil to be stripped and removed from site. Okay, the width of the site to be cleared as well is saying 40 meters. I'm going to change that to 20 because that sounds like an awfully large site. Okay, and then any irregular areas to be cleared as well, if there are any. Going from there, you can click next. You've got the plant and labor for the site strip as well. So you've got number of weeks dumper required, just the 1 week. Number of deliveries and collections for heavy plant, 4. Okay, and then you've got number of days for the banksman required, 4. Bulking factor is 1.5. As you would know, okay, if it was concrete, then the bulking factor would be 2 because it's got no give when it goes into your dumper trucks or if it goes into your skips. So that's what it's estimating for now, is square meterage of what it's going to be filling up as well. Okay, and the moment I hit finish, it's costed that out for me. Okay, so saying that the cost of the site strip is going to be £2,357.50. All right, and as you can see the resources being used. So clear of the topsoil for storage and site. Okay, we've got my JCB digger as well. Okay, so you can start seeing where these prices are coming from. All right, click close. Close again. Is this work button now complete? Yes, it is. Perfect. It's now time-stamped it. I'm good to go. All right. Going from here, I'm going to show the brick and block cavity wall. Double-click that one there. Again, it's going to ask me to name it and locate it. Okay, so I can click OK. And then it's going to ask me the type of brick and block cavity wall that I'm going to build up. Now, this could be single-story partel, double-story partel. Okay, we understand that most walls that you build, you're going to be doing foundations with them as well. Okay, so unless stated otherwise, the walls are going to be coming with foundations. You can even estimate for foundations only if you want to. What you won't find are foundations with the likes of metal stud walls, okay, timber stud walls, things like that, things that wouldn't come with a foundation. Okay, for the demonstration, I'm going to go a partel single-story cavity wall. Okay, hit select, and then again, my dimension wizards come up, and I show tech tips and show tech labels. Now it's telling me that the wall is going to be 2.5 meters high, and it's telling me that it's going to be 6 meters long, but I'm going to change that to 8 meters. Okay, reason I've done this is just sheer size more than anything else. Okay, if there are any openings in that main wall, you would put it in as meter square. Okay, so whether there's a door, a window, anything like that, okay, you can start popping those square meterages in. And then you can also see as well number of identical walls. Now, if this were a box, what I can do is I can go, okay, there are going to be 4 identical walls. Brilliant. But for the demonstration of this, I'm just going to put 2 in there, and I'll show you how to create more columns later on and more information about the walls. Okay, just in case there were any gables, just say you were doing a brick porch and you're going to be doing a gable on the front, you can go to the gable dimension and you can start putting that information in there as well. Okay, going next, the foundation details. We understand as well, as I said, we do keep up with the building regs. Okay, so we understand that your foundation is going to be 0.6 meters wide and 0.9 meters deep. Okay, in Scotland it's usually 0.6 by 0.6. Okay, whether you're going to be using structural concrete thickness or mass concrete thickness. Okay, whether you're going to be supporting your trenches as well, so plank and strut excavation, and then the bulking of the excavated material. Again, you're digging out soil, so it's going to be a bulking factor of 1.5. It's just a quote for those skips as well. Okay, clicking next, you've got the footing details. Okay, so you've got your splash course depth, brickwork depth below splash course, height of the blockwork to the outer leaf, okay, below DPC, cavity width, and the overall width of the wall as well. Then you've also got the cavity fill depth below DPC, height of the blockwork to inner leaf below DPC as well. All right, I know this is a lot of information to look at. You may be even having apprentices on site as well. So what you can actually do is you can hit this button down at the bottom, okay, and it's going to screenshot this for you. Okay, it's going to take it into your report section, so you can start printing these off. You can laminate them. You can hand them over to your guys on site as well, just so they can have an idea of everything that's going on site. Okay, this officer is going to ask you whether the main wall is going to be insulated and if there's a separate DPC as well. Hitting next. The finalization, plastering and decorating. Are you going to be plastering the walls? Are you going to be decorating them as well? Okay, if not, all you've got to do is just change this Y to an N, and it won't cost it for you. And going again with the skirting board. Are you going to be priming it? Are you going to be decorating it? Okay, and then when we've hit finished, the software is then telling me, okay, that wall that I'm going to build, that parcel single story cavity wall, the two walls anyway, are going to cost me £7,335.80, and that's excluding profit and VAT. Okay, so what's going into that, as I can scroll down and see the resources, I can see the structural concrete, the trench blocks that I'm using, okay, the brickworks as well, the type of brick I'm using, and then the labor aspect that's going to go into that as well. It's even quoting for your undercoat, your gloss brilliant white as well, okay, and that magnolia for you painting the walls that wonderful color. Okay. Now you may just want to estimate the one wall. So if I hit 1 here and click away, that £7,335.80 is going to drop down. Okay. If I wanted to make multiple walls, I can go either add column and go through the entire process again. But if you know your walls are going to be built the exact same way, then you probably wouldn't want to do that. All right. So what you can do is you can highlight that wall, and then you can go copy column, and copy column. Okay. So now you've got the 4 separate walls. Okay. You can pop in the area of opening into those main walls. You can, if I went 2 meters square, okay, you'll see this price drop down because it's taking the brickwork out, well, 2 meters square out of that wall. Okay. But then this is an 8 meter by 8 meter by 8 meter house. It's a nice square. So you can change the walls any way you want. So if I wanted to change that to 10, again, I would just click 10, and that price would go up. And again, that price would go up. And you can even name the walls. Okay, so front, back, front left, front right. Okay, so at least you can then keep on top of your walls as well. Now, going from here, if you wanted to change the price of the brick, okay, so we're going to pop in that Parker's brick that I created. Okay, what you would do is you'd click this button at the top here. It says View Resources Output. That's just a lot of buzzwords saying, well, materials used. Okay, so if you hit that button there, you'll get a page like this, from top to bottom, telling you everything that's going into that wall as well. These red lines, well, these red names on the left-hand side, these are your critical items. Okay, these are the materials that you do need, okay, to build a wall. If you didn't have them, the wall wouldn't go up. Okay, so to change any particular item, let's go and find that 55p brick. Okay, all I've got to do is just double-click that, and then my list of bricks have come up. Okay, so I can find that Parker's brick there. That's 28p. And the only information that you're going to have to fill in after this, okay, so if I double-click that Parker's brick, is basically how large the brick is. How many of these bricks do you use per meter square? So I can easily say, okay, I use 50 of them per meter square. All right. Click OK. And that price has gone down to 16,214. Now, you'll see the bigger change when I start doing the facing bricks above DPC, less openings. Okay, so again, double click, that's 16,214. Go down to the Parker's brick, double click again, say 50, click OK. That's gone from 16 down to 14,000. Okay, so the software is constantly updating with your selections as well. Once you're happy with that, you can click back, close. Is this work now complete? Yes, it is. We can timestamp that as well. Okay, I'm going to go into an Apex Valley roof. I'm then going to show you subcontract quotes. Okay, costings. Sorry. Then we're going to go to the chart, go into the reports, and then show you my project. Okay. So first off, Apex Valley roof. Double click. Okay, it's going to ask me the location again. It's going to also ask me what kind of a roof do I want to build when it comes to an Apex Valley roof. Okay, so tiled roof with fascia and barge boards, insulation and plastered to ceiling. Okay, without fascias and barge boards, insulation and plastering to ceiling, whether it's going to be a vaulted ceiling as well. So I'm just going to use this one here. Okay, hit select, and then roof structural information. So just turn on those tech tips and those tech labels. Okay, and then we can start working on how big the roof actually is. Okay, so I know that my wall thickness is going to be 0.34 because I've got parterre walls. Okay, and from side to side, if it were 8 meters, then it would actually be, okay, if I do my maths correct, you're looking at, it'll be 7.32. Okay, so that's going from outer wall, okay, including my walls as well. All right. Next, you can look at the timber and strap details as well. Okay, eaves, roof ventilators as well, fillets and supports, air gap and vent. Click next. Number of purlins, number of binders, eave fascias. Okay, you can change the pitch of the roof. So if you know it's going to be a 30-degree pitch, you can change that as well. Okay, clicking next. Okay, you then have front to back as well. Okay, so depending on how long the wall is, again, if that's 0.34, we can go 9.32 again. Okay, I realize that I've actually done the wrong kind of roof. Okay, now, anyway, so terribly sorry for that, but the principle is still the same. Okay, you can go into the guttering details. Okay, length of the guttering required as well, length of the downpipe, tiling and insulation details as well, number of gable abutments, length of abutment, spacing of the tile lathe, roof covered in sarking board or not. Okay, insulation to the rafters as well, whether that's a yes or no. You can go into the tiling details, so sand and cement point ridge, yes or no. Proprietary ridge fixing system, yes or no as well. So again, however you work. But as you can see, most of it's building reg standard as well. We can click next, and the last but not least, the roof finishes. Are you going to be plastering and decorating the underside of the rafters? Probably not, okay, because it's never going to be seen. Are you going to be plastering and decorating the flat ceiling as well? Yes, I am. Okay, and are you going to be priming and decorating the soffits and fascias? Probably not, because it is PVC. Okay, hit finish, and then the software is going to tell you how long this roof is going to be. Okay, and it's telling me that a roof that the size I've actually given it is going to be £17,161 and 65 pence. Okay. Once I'm happy with that, I can click close. Close again. Is this workbook now complete? Yes, it is. Okay, and then I can go all the way down to subcontract quotations as well. Okay, so double click that. And just like the design phase as well from the very beginning, everything's in there at £1. So you can start popping in your prices for your electrical first fix and second fix. So I can say that's 300 for one and 700 for the other. And then the plumbing contractor as well, I can go 400 and 600. Keep it to the thousands. It just makes my life easier. Click close. Close again. Am I happy with this workbook? Yes, I am. And then I can give myself a little bit of a refresher just to tell me that this is for the Sparky and the plumber. Okay. So before going into the charts and the reports, does anybody have any questions right now? Okay, I'll give you a moment. How would you review the materials selected are correct? Okay, so again, what you would do is you would go to that View Resources Output. Okay, so if I went to the, oh, Christ, terribly sorry. So brick and block cavity wall, external walls, and the View Resources Output page. Okay, so what we can see here is the particular materials used within this particular job. Okay, so we know that either these are right or wrong. If they are wrong, you can change them. Okay, you can change them in bulk as well. Okay, it's within your settings page. Okay, so you can go into each of these jobs. Okay, each of your workbooks, and you can change the materials that are going to be used from the get-go. Okay, if you did have any like links to Juicens, Travis Perkins, or TradePoint, once you've selected which merchant that you want which product to come from, okay, the software will go directly to that merchant. Okay, so it will then select the relevant material from that merchant for the job. I hope that helped. When I was removing workbooks, yeah, that's actually just for this particular project. Okay, you can't delete the workbooks that are in the software. Okay, so yeah, when you're doing it, you're just doing this for this particular project. Okay, it just makes your life a little bit easier. Okay, so it's not as much writing to look at down the left-hand side. Okay, going from here now, just going to jump to the chart section. Once you've done your full job, okay, your chart's going to look something like this. Everything from site acquisition all the way down to post-contracting completion. Okay, as we know, I've actually not estimated for this. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to close this off a second. I'm just going to remove unused build phases. Okay, and as you can see, there's quite a lot of them. So my chart looks something like this. And as you can see as well, it's in ascending order as well for how you're going to be going through the job. All right. If there are any amendments that you want to make with this, okay, so as you can see, we've got the footings here, but we've got the brickwork shell 2 weeks back. Okay, that's wrong. So what I can do is I can just hit the edit bar chart button. I can find where it says brickwork shell, and I can bring that back 2 weeks. Okay. Once I'm happy with that, instead of going down and going, okay, roof structure, that's going to go back 2 weeks. Okay, that's the last thing you want to do. That will take forever. All you have to do is just hit the cascade button. We'll drag it all along, hit refresh, and it's going to stretch it out for you. Okay. Very self-explanatory, very easy to make your way through. Okay, and it's nice to know when you're going to be starting and finishing your particular jobs as well. Okay. Going from the chart, you can start looking at the reports. Okay, so the money aspect of the software. Now you can see everything from your cost by build phase, okay, in a nice pie chart environment. You can, as you can see, in everything showing in percentages, you can toggle that, okay, to look at pricing as well. You can start seeing the breakdown of how things are going to cost you. All right. You can also do that with labor hours by trade as well. Again, percentages going into hourly rates as well. From here, you can start looking at your ground workers costs. Okay, you can start seeing what you're actually paying your bricklayers for. And the breakdown of this looks something similar to what build phase they're working on, what team they're working, okay, what jobs they're doing, and how much they're costing you for those jobs as well. Okay, you can export all these reports, you can put them side by side, okay, so you can see how much you're actually spending on your bricklayers over the course of a year. Okay, it's entirely up to you. Okay, so you can see your cash flow as well, something quite nice to see. The accumulative costs of when you're going to be paying out, and the total cost each time. Okay, and the dates as well. You can drag in the build phase, so you can see exactly why and what you're spending your money on as well, and then again the accumulative costs on the right hand side. And then you've got the flip side of that. So you've just seen your cash flow. Okay, now you can see your profit forecast. What type of money you're going to be bringing in. Okay, and again, profit excluding VAT. Okay, and the cumulative profit on the right hand side there. Okay, so I can click close, and then I'm back to my report section again. And then you can also see the materials used. This one's probably one of the more important. So you can see the breakdown by build phase. So you can say the brickwork shell, description of the materials that are going to be used. Okay, as you can see, we've even got a Parker's brick in there, saying 28 pence. I buy them 28 pence each. Okay, and they're saying the quantity required for the walls that I'm going to be doing. I need 4,400 bricks. Okay, for the perfect 8 meter by 10 meter house. However, wastage is going to add in another 330 of that for me, just in case anything breaks, anything goes wrong. Okay, so the overall bricks that I'm going to be ordering, the order quantity, is going to be 4,730. So the item before wastage is going to cost me 1,232. The wastage is about £92. So the total cost is £1,324 and 40 pence. Okay. Now you can export this into Excel. You can cut it up. You can put dates on it, times on it, locations on it as well. Okay, for your merchant to have, so you don't have to do constant trips to your merchant, saving you time and effort as well. Okay, you can even drop in your product code as well, which is very important if you're working with Jewson's, Travis Perkins, TradePoint. Okay, so it's going to just drag all this in for you, and they can just type in these product codes and they'll find them within their systems as well. Okay, with your discounts on. And if you don't want that in there, you can just drag it back. It's very handy with Excel. Okay, you can close your report. If you want to set up a stage payment calculator as well with your client, so again, as I said, the differences between the Total Toolkit and the Ultimate. If you wanted this for the standard or the Total Toolkit as well, okay, it's just a small charge. So you've got your stage payment. It's going to ask me, okay, then I want to be paid, say, every 4 days. Okay, hit print, and then it shoots it into Word for me, and it's going to say, okay, then I need to get paid this for the design phase, commencement, foundations, footings, and brickwork shell. So it's going to give me a breakdown of what's actually being done within those 4 days and why they're paying you. All right, so it saves you having to type this out yourself. You've got your customer quotes as well, so you've got everything from build phase to workbook. You can even see previous quotes as well. But going into the build phase, and your quote's going to look something similar to this. Okay, so you're going to have a heading, a brief description for the work that's being done, a picture of the job that's being done as well, materials that are going into it, okay, the materials used, and the order quantity, as well as the total cost as well. Now you may not want those total costs, those phase costs in there. You may not want the pictures. You may not want the order quantities. Actually, you may not want anything in there. Okay, I just want to have telling them what I'm going to be doing with a brief description. Okay, so you can manipulate this to however you want it to look. But for the benefit of the demonstration, I'm going to be throwing in all resources, phase totals, pictures, order quantities. We even have something that says customer-friendly descriptions. Okay, so you can, depending on who you're going with. Okay, you've got blue circle Mastercrete original cement. That changes into cement. Something a little bit nicer to read. Okay. But on your first ever quote, you'd hit this more button. Okay, and then you can even change the resources in the quote if you wanted to. So if you're going to be doing a labor only quote, you just untick everything else and it's just going to take in the labor for you. Okay, go there. But then you've got the preferences in the job as well. So opening paragraph, that's going to be your introductory statement. Okay, closing paragraph, we've got terms and conditions there, but something that you would sign off on. Okay. Then we've got select a build phase to edit. Now, as you can see, we've got these brief descriptions and these photos. If you went to edit text, I'm going to just go for the footings here, so it's more relevant, so as you can see it. And as you see, we've got that description there, and the photo is similar. Okay, you can pop in your own footings photo if you wanted to, okay? So photos of previous jobs. You can even write in the brief description of what you think footings are so that your your client can see that as well, okay, from your words. You've even got page setup, okay, so any company logos, affiliations, anything like that, okay, your headers, your footers. If you're printing on letter-headed paper, we can help you set up the page for that as well, okay, click OK. And then if I hit print, it's going to add the profit, it's going to add the 20% VAT as well, and then it's going to build up my quote for me. And then you've got your quote at the very end. So everybody likes seeing their name on the front of something, unless it's a bill. Okay, so you've got demo house for James King at 4 Wexford Road, Bristol, BS 179PP. You've got your company logo. Mine, unfortunately, is an A4 picture at the moment, so that's wrong. You're going to have your header, your footer, your introductory statement with your client's details on the top of it as well, something that you would probably sign off. Okay, then you've got your design phase, brief description of what's happening, and a picture to go with it as well. Okay, you can even manipulate it from here as well, so you can go with tea and biscuits here. All right, you can delete this photo if you don't want it anymore. Okay, and looking in, zooming in, you can see a better description. So you've got everything from design phase to commencement, foundations. So when you start seeing this, you can go into the labor, saying excavate the trench. It's going to be your groundwork, and it's going to take them about 4 hours, 3 hours. So you can see man hours that are going into this as well. Okay, and the plant that's going to be used for this also. So footings, going into your brickwork shell as well, your roof structure, roof tiling, plastering, electrical first fix and second fix. So as you can see, it's going roof tiling, your electrical first fix, it's going to plaster, then it's going to do the second fix. Okay, so at least you can see that this is in ascending order as well. Joinery second fix, plumbing second fix, internal decoration, and then at the very end you've got the total cost excluding VAT, your total VAT, and then the total cost including. Okay. If you're both happy with it, you've got 2 contracts to sign. Both of you sign these. Okay, so you can't come back and, well, if they haven't paid you, you can go back and say, all right, by the way, this is what you've said you would pay me, and you haven't. What's going on? And then vice versa. They can come over to you and say, where's the ceramic dolphin that's meant to be on the ceiling? Okay, so it's something for you both to agree. And at the very end, you've got your terms and conditions as well. All right. So that's what your final quote would look like. Okay, so if I click close, the different variations that you can have of this are, so a minimal detailed quote, so something that's not actually giving any information, no prices, and then your final quotes at the very end, your costs. You've also got a medium amount of detail as well, so your pictures, some information that's going on as well, and then you've got, like we've just done, the full hog, okay, everything that's going into it as well now. Okay, so those are the 3 variations that you can have your final quote. And there are more as well, it just depends on how you want to manipulate it. Okay, so going back to summary, I can click close. I can say whether it's going to be an estimate in progress, awaiting customer reply, or due to start, so I'll just go estimate in progress. Okay, hit select, I can click close, and now what I can do is I can create a project myself. So if I go my project, okay, I can go new project. Well, it's going to be demo, brief description, demo. Okay, click OK, and now it's going to ask me to select the job. So I can go demo job, okay, Mr. Louch, and say Mark Allan as well. Hit select, and it's going to drag in those 3 jobs for me there. So now what I would see, similar to when we were working on the singular job, is the chart. It's going to tell me when phases are going to be starting and stopping. Okay, so I can at least see what's going to be happening there. I can go into the report section, so I can start seeing the materials used as well over the course of those 3 jobs. Okay, and then more so as well. So I can start seeing my pug brick for a previous job, okay, Parker's brick as well, for the footings for the brickwork shell. You can start seeing how much you're going to be ordering of this, okay. So I can click close, go back to the summary. I can add in jobs, I can remove jobs as well, so I can add in estimates, okay. And that's my projects as well. There's a lot more detail to go into that as well, all right, and there's more things that you can actually do with it, okay. But that is EstimatorXpress Standard Edition, EstimatorXpress Total Toolkit, and the Ultimate as well. Okay, does anybody have any questions right now? Okay, Nick doesn't have any questions. Anybody else with any questions? Okay, well, as I said, that was EstimatorXpress. Okay. If you would like to be called tomorrow with regards to prices and quotations, okay, if you can just stick your hand up, that'll be very beneficial. Okay, so at least that way then we know who to call tomorrow. Fantastic, Nick. Thank you. Anybody else? Okay, well, thank you ever so much. Oh, I do have a question, sorry. It is a little bit to take in one go still, I will be totally honest. But as you may know, or as you may not know, we are actually recording tonight as well. Okay, so what we will do is email this video over to everybody that's attended, as well as everybody that hasn't attended. Okay, so you can at least see it again. All right, I hope that would help. We also have a YouTube video, YouTube page as well, so you can start seeing different types of work that are being done as well. You can see the whole hog of the software at work. All right. Anybody else with any more questions? Not a problem, Stuart. Happy to help. Okay, well, thank you very much. Oh, God, just before. Okay, Nick, you take care. Have a very good evening. I'm going to be going as well. You saw that one, did you, Matt? Yeah, we did a little bit of a quote for Trump's wall. Thought it was worthwhile having a go. Okay, I don't think I've put any lighting or plumbing into it yet, so it's right now it's just bricks and mortar. But again, thank you ever so much for everybody that's attended tonight. I appreciate you giving up your time in your evening as well. All right. If you do have any questions, any queries, please give us a call. We'll be happy to help. All right. Until next time, until we speak to you on the phone as well, thank you ever so much for looking at EstimatorXpress Total Toolkit. Okay. And I'll be happy to help you in the future. Okay. Good night now.